Hey everyone, the professor here.
So I had this idea for a challenge relating to everyday carry, or EDC. What kind of everyday carry can I put together for under $20? Now I know that sounds simple enough, but you have to clarify a little bit to make sure you're playing by the right rules here. So first, are we talking we only have $20 to spend on gear, and once we've spent that, we're done? Or are we talking about the unit price in the end can't exceed $20? In the first case, I'd call that purchase cost, and the latter I'd call it unit cost.
To spell out the difference with an example, I found a set of pens at Walmart, 12 for 117 cents, or $1.17. So the purchase cost of one of these pens would be $1.17, but the unit cost for the same pen would be 117 cents divided by 12, which comes out to 9 3/4 for all you Harry Potter fans out there, or we'll just round up and call it 10 cents.
So I decided I would try to do both ways and see what kind of improvement I can pick up by moving to unit cost. Then we have to decide what we mean by EDC. So originally I came up with 5 tools that are pretty common in EDC: a pen, a knife, a multi-tool, a flashlight, and a watch. And then I thought, what about a wallet? Could I fit a wallet in there too? So off I went to the place I thought I could stretch $20 and still get some semblance of quality: Walmart. I wasn't impressed by the multi-tools I found there for under $20. This is an Ozark Trail multi-tool that sells for $3.87 with a sheath, and I just can't recommend it. The pivots are all really gritty. The spring is not great, although actually it may be one of the better parts of this tool. And as you can see here, they don't want to pull out just a single tool. They all want to come out together, and the action is really gritty on all these. I don't know if you can hear that. And then the knife blade is not sharp at all. This is not even sharp enough out of box to cut copy paper. And so cardstock or envelopes, you could just forget about it. And this whole tool weighs in at 6 ounces. So to feel both overly heavy and underbuilt at the same time, to the point that I can't really deem it worth taking the weight to carry. So I don't believe you can get a decent multi-tool for under $10 or maybe $15. If you want to spend that much on the multi-tool, you're not going to get the rest of the collection for under $20. So I decided to replace a multi-tool with a wallet as the 5th piece of the gear, and just eliminate the multi-tool category. I will give my recommendation for adding a multi-tool to this collection just before my summary. So let's look at pens. Now, depending on your scruples, you can pick up a pen for nothing. It's easy to pocket a pen from a hotel room or any number of events with free swag for a cost of $0.00. If you've never been to college or you're thinking of going back, you can get a pen there.
You don't need to feel too bad about taking these free pens, especially if they're branded. In psychology, there's a concept called the mere exposure effect, which basically means that just being exposed to something makes us develop good feelings about it or a preference for it. Schools and companies know this. It's part of the reason they brand so many things. The more people see their name, logo, colors, or mascots, the more positivity we see in those entities. By carrying around a branded pen, not only are you influencing yourself to like them more, but you're also advertising them to other people. You could make the argument that you're doing them a favor by carrying around their pen and using it in front of others. Note, that's a theoretical argument, not a legal argument, and I don't mean it as a justification for stealing.
If you have a job, you may be able to also get a pen for free from a supply closet, and as long as you're carrying it at work, it shouldn't be too big of a deal, although your situation may vary. You know, I'm not advocating stealing anything. What's the cheapest pen you can buy to carry? The cheapest I found were actually a box of 15 very basic pens. This is a stand-in for it. I did not actually buy that set, but this was something similar to this. It was 15 pens for 50 cents. Presumably at least one of the 15 would work, so we can say you spent 50 cents on a pen in this system and you have 14 backups. For knives, I'm going to reveal a non-secret secret: Ozark Trail knives. Walmart offers about half a dozen varieties of different types of knives at $3.87 a piece. As you can see, they're not that great. But for this system, the cost justifies it. And really, you could do worse for the same kind of price point. Knives come out of box decently sharp, especially compared to the blades on, say, the disastrous multi-tool by the same brand that I mentioned earlier. They also offer enough variety that you can test various styles, blade grinds, action, blade length, all to some degree. You can see that a couple of these have thumb studs, this one has a hole. These 3 are all liner lock, although they do have a frame lock version. So this one here is serrated while the other 2 are not. different blade grinds, cuts, shapes, you know, lengths, everything. My favorite so far is the creatively named wood flip opening knife. The blade shape is good. It's not a combo edge, which I prefer. Outside of the blade is attractive. The flipper tab doesn't poke you in the leg because it's really not even prominent enough to fully deploy the knife like that. If you want to deploy it, you got to put some wrist action into it, but that's actually a very easy maneuver. Consequently, this makes this a great knife to fidget with, much to my wife's displeasure. But that would be my choice here, and it's $3.87. For the flashlight, you can go a few different routes. Personally, I prefer a pin light for EDC. The cheapest pin light I could find was one by Rayovac, which came with a single AAA needed to power it. It was only 3 lumens, but it cost $2.83, and for this challenge, that's the number that's more critical. If you want to save even more money, though, Walmart has these 9 LED lights by Ozark Trail once again. They're plastic, and they run on 3 AAAs. They're called 9 LED because they have 9 LEDs right there. They're brighter than the pen light, but they're a bit wide for pocket carry, in my opinion, although they do have this little lanyard that they come with. To keep costs down, we'll add these to our set and bring our purchase to a total of $5.37. For our fourth item, we head to the jewelry department to pick up a timepiece. Outside of some cheap kids' watches, there was a display for $7.88 watches. I wanted to add a bit more utility to our EDC, so by raising to $11.48, we can pick up this watch by TGHK. I'm guessing that's the brand, otherwise just some kind of a brand on there. This watch here is $11.48, and in addition to telling time, this labeled mode button right here lets you go through a stopwatch, an alarm, which as you can hear the tone here is decently loud. The alarm kind of sounds like the tone going off beep, 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 beep rapidly. And then you can reset the time on this. The stopwatch works fine, the alarm's decently loud, but the reason I recommend this watch is I can speak for its durability. This exact model I bought when I worked at Walmart back in 2008, and I bought it so I could sync it with the punch clock in the back. Kept me from missing my breaks, ensured I never worked overtime. And I wore this watch pretty much every day I worked. That was on 8-hour shifts with an hour lunch in the middle, out in the hot sun, sweating. It got caught out in the rain with me. And really all that you can see of that is that the blue on the buttons, on 3 out of the 4 buttons, is faded. But the watch itself still reads crystal clear. And I actually thought I'd lost this at one point, so I bought another one. And as you can see, even though this watch is the same age, they are both still running. For a $12 watch, I can't give you much more of an endorsement than that. So you can pick up one of these and add it to your EDC for $11.48. Bringing the total purchase cost up to $16.85. That brings us to the last piece of gear, which replaced the multi-tool for this challenge, a wallet. Now, you may be able to find a wallet for under $3, but I'm not sending you to look at wallets. If you want a wallet that will really hold up with tons of customization options for this price point, go to the hardware department and pick up a roll of duct tape. It's been said anything you can make out of leather, you can make from duct tape. And people online have made things, boots, belts, even entire wedding or prom dresses out of duct tape. So a wallet is comparatively simple. There's a lot of tutorials out there on how to do it. To prove how simple it is, here's a duct tape wallet I made for myself a few years ago. You can see for relative sizing, a genuine US dollar, and in this pocket, a spent Amazon gift card, which stands in for a credit card. This one here is very simple to make, and obviously the finish on it's not that great, but it just proves the point that it's easy to make a wallet out of duct tape. And there are some much nicer ones online. Like I said, you can find a lot of tutorials for these. We'll find a 55-yard roll of duct tape for $2.38. Add that to the running total, and we have a pen, a knife, a flashlight, a watch, and a wallet for the low, low price of $19.23. If you want to add a multi-tool to this carry, I recommend a Gerber dime. This can be had for about $15 and some change, which means you can have a 6-tool EDC for around $35. Now, I said before that I would look at unit cost as well as purchase cost, so what changes can you make under that metric? Well, the knife, the watch, and the wallet don't change. But now I need to figure out what this wallet is worth on a unit cost. So obviously that'll change depending on how much tape you use to make your wallet, but you can make an 8-inch unfolded billfold, and let's say you need 12 runs of 8 inches to make it. That's 96 inches or 8 feet. A 55-yard roll is 55 times 3 or 165 feet in total length. 165 divided by 8 is 20 with a remainder, but to keep the math simple, let's say you can make 20 duct tape wallets from one roll of duct tape. So you take the $2.38 roll of duct tape, divide by 20, and you get a unit cost of around 12 cents. Add that 12 cents to the cost of the knife and the watch, and we're at $15.47. Now we can upgrade this shameful pen here. For a pen that should last you and is not all that expensive, I recommend these Zebra stainless durable pens. They come in a 2-pack for $3.97, so the unit cost on one is $1.99. As you can see, they're just your basic pen. They write. But they're a little bit more durable than a lot of what you'll get at this kind of a price point, because they are stainless steel as opposed to plastic. Lastly, we get to upgrade this flashlight here. So I told you before I like pen lights. I'm going to stick with Ozark Trail, but I'm going to recommend you get this here, the LED flashlight and pen light and headlamp combo.
Now this combo pack comes with 2 small flashlights, 2 headlamps, 2 pen lights, and 16 Everbright AAA batteries. The pen lights are what I want to add to this set of gear. Now the 6-piece combo pack costs $9.82, but we can't say exactly how much of that one pen light costs. Let's say the cost of the 16 AAA batteries are $3.82 to make the math easier. That leaves us with 6 lights for $6. Let's then say each headlamp is worth $1.50 on its own, eating 3 of those $6. If we say both the standard LED flashlights and the pen lights are equally valuable, we have 4 lights for $3, so each pen light is worth 75 cents.
So to review, when we look at unit cost rather than purchase cost, we can get a flashlight, a pen, a knife, a wallet, and a watch for a total of $18.21. We actually made some upgrades on a couple pieces of equipment, but we saved money when we measure by unit cost rather than purchase cost. And if you're wondering how much it costs to buy all this, the purchase cost for all this gear, including the light combo and the double pen pack, is $31.52. And think of how much of that money you can save by making everyone on your Christmas list a duct tape wallet. Hopefully one that looks a little nicer than this one. So that's the under $20 EDC challenge done 2 ways. You can carry it all for under $20. If you downgrade the watch from an 1148 model to a 788 and you're okay with the Ozark Trail multi-tool, you can actually make this a 6-piece gear set for under $20. You'd be at $19.50 in purchase cost or $14.61 in unit cost if you keep the rest of my recommendations the same, just changing out this watch for a cheaper one and adding the multi-tool. I'm going to call this set of gear here your compromise-riddled utility devices, or CRUD carry for short. And it's not all bad, although there's certainly some room for improvement here. This is not my choice EDC, but for under $20, you could do worse. Speaking of doing worse, or better for that matter, if anyone else would make changes to the challenge or to my choices, you can share them in a comment below, or make a response video. Or going a different way with it, exactly how cheap can you get a full EDC, even if it is compromise-riddled utility devices? Or even compromise-riddled accoutrement periodical? Or crap. I hope you have fun with this. Class dismissed.